Mm, And then we'll get started. So, very excited. I want to welcome everybody to the January photo review. I'm James Corbett. I'm the outgoing president of Maryland PPA. I think Lydia's on. She'll be president starting in February. I'm very, very, very pleased to have Tony Sweet as our reviewer tonight. I'm sure many of you have seen Tony's work, and then I think it's amazing, the diversity of it, and some of his skills are always amaze me. Tony comes from an artistic background as a professional jazz artist and professional close-up magician, sleight of hand artist, he says. And he's come from that background to be a professional nature and fine art photographer. Tony has always sought creative, deeply personal endeavors. The transition from jazz artist to nature photographer was seamless, as both require improvisational skill and the ability to adapt to quickly changing conditions. Tony was named a Nikon legend behind the lens and has published worldwide for over 35 years. He's authored 8 books, contributed to many others, co-produced an educational DVD series, and continues to teach and lecture throughout the US, Canada, Iceland, and Cuba. Tony is co-owner, along with Susan Milestone, of their visual artistry location workshop series, creative seminars, and private training sessions and private location workshops, and obviously Zoom presentations like we're seeing tonight. Again, I'm very excited to hear from Tony tonight, and I'm going to pass the baton to him. I've asked Tony to talk for about 20 minutes, share his screen, and talk about his passion for photography, what motivates him. It's a pretty open assignment for Tony to take and run with. Then we'll take a few minutes for questions if folks have something. And just for the moment, just if you would turn off your camera and make sure you're muted, just so we have good bandwidth, I would appreciate it. With that, I'm going to pass it off to Tony. So if you'll share
Thank you,
your
James.
Tony,
Always
and
great to
kick it
be
off.
involved in doing anything photographically. Yes, sir. I'm good. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. There we go. There we go. All right, we have that. And I've got this. And I've got to find my show. So don't go anywhere. Hang on. Come on, come on. My mouse is moving.
It's going to make you work for it tonight.
I know, man. I know. Not easy. All right,
There
let
you
me
go.
expand the see where is it? Now, let me okay that. My mouse is like wandering. There we go. All right, get rid of all the people, nothing personal. Okay, this is my splash screen, and welcome. I look forward to seeing the work coming up. As always, try to get some new ideas. But this is kind of what I do. About 10 minutes before the show, I'm like relaxing, and I'm thinking, oh man, she get to relax a bit. And I thought, oh man, I gotta do a slideshow. So, so I pulled the show out, pitched a bunch of things, and this is the result. So atmospherics. And let me close one more window here. There we go. Shot in the New Smyrna Beach, Florida, at sunrise. So, light, that's what we do. That's what we do. Either artificial or real. I do mostly with real light outside, but artificial is also it's skill. It's an art also. I like going out when it's dark and wait for the very first light when there's no direct sunlight. Direct sunlight gives you instant contrast, and I prefer the more quiet light before when the sky lights up and the sky lights up these subjects. You get that magenta, beautiful like skin tones, That's when the sun comes up. Automatic contrast. Color palette changes. You see detail, but that's when the sun hits. Now we're in the Smokies. It should look that way now when I get down there on Sunday or Tuesday, Monday, whatever we're going. But this is stuff that I look for. It's got a feeling to it. It's fun to photograph. It like looks interesting. It's action going on, you know. You have a spotlight. I love spotlighting. One little ray of light hitting that little area there. Little bigger hole. These huge, it's very ethereal. I like this. I like a lot of things, but definitely the more ethereal side is what I gravitate towards. South Dakota Badlands, again, very first light. I'm out there when it's dark. Get the very first light streak cutting across the valley. That's where the emotion is. I just wait for those moments like that, you know. Spotlight on Yakosarlon. That's in the glacier everywhere. But right around here, you will see most of, if you look for it, you will notice that even when it's really cloudy, if there's any kind of broken clouds, light will find a way. You know, it'll find a hole to shoot down, and then you get stuff like this, little spotlights. Let's talk about water. That's I'm working on the Kickstarter project water that we're right. I got a good production team, which is really helpful, and I'm very excited about what probably later this year. Anyway, that's Iceland. I get the name of the waterfall. It's kind of a long name, but it's not uncommon to get that rainbow in there. If it's bright sun, which is normally like, you know, not good, but it's good for a lot of things. The sun's behind me, front lighting the falls. Excuse me very much. You will get the haze picks up, get that beautiful light rainbow cutting across the falls. That's 4-second exposure. That's why the water's so smooth. Long exposures are very restful to look at. They calm everything down. Again, first thing in the morning, I see this happening. I know that it's going to happen down here. So I just wait. Eagle Lake in Acadia National Park, a really great spot to photograph sunrise. Very quiet. I tend to like this kind of work in general. I don't want to say Zen is too over, you know, it's too like too cliche, but it's very quiet light, very meditative. I like this kind of work if I could find it. It's what I look for. It's also minimalist. This is the southeast coast of Iceland, and this is normally like land, beach. But every so often the water comes up from the ground. It gives you about an inch of water. It's not much. This is all like about 1 inch, 2 inches deep at the most, inch and a half, all through here. And you just walk out very slowly and get this great reflection. And luckily we have clouds. But again, this is very evocative to me. It's very emotional, very interesting, very clean. You know, the reflection, the clouds were great, which gave me a nice reflection also. Dawn again, this is not direct sunlight. It does get, for those who get up in the morning, it can look like this. If you get out there, you might see this one morning. But I like threes conceptually, three rocks. They're very simple, and they kind of lead you into the scene like that. Just pulls your eye right into the scene. All these techniques are designed to pull the viewer through your picture. And they won't say, oh, look at that design. They don't know. But what we do compositionally, I mean, like all of us, these are designed to involuntarily pull the picture into the person into your scene. Mornings when you time, mirror-like reflection, you know, it's beautiful. And I'm waiting for light. Got a little bit of light here. So when we get that, we have now we have opposites. We have warm and cool. And I like getting that juxtaposition of those two tones, opposites, warm and cool. That's in Magnolia Gardens in Charleston. It's a fascinating place. Reflections, fall reflections in Maine, a place called the Tarn. About again knowing where to go when it's critical in my part of the business, you know. So when we're out there, this is like at 8:30 a.m. on a blue sky day, bright sun. The sun hits the mountain and then reflects that light down like the fall color from the mountain reflects that down into the water. Do this for hours. It's in my Color of Water book, soon to come out, I hope, sometime this year, probably around May or June. And shoot where you live. This is our backyard, basically. I'm like 1 minute from here. It's in Eldersburg, Maryland, Sykesville, same basic area. A lot of cool stuff. But I want to find some water if I can. And when it rains, that always fills up. And you just find a way to reflect that color. But the winter skies are particularly beautiful. And then that's what this is. Really light mist, and then a beautiful, ridiculous color. Mountain mist. What fun stuff. This time of year in the Smokies, the dew point is right. Dew point's got to be within 4 degrees of your temperature. And then you'll see a little, your car will get dew all over it. And then you'll see this kind of fog roaming around in the low points in the valleys of where you live. It's just tremendous when this happens. Early morning again. Used a split grad, a digital grad from the bottom up to brighten the sky a little bit. Give it a light blue cast rather than a dark blue. And then we have blue and amber. Again, warm and cool. In winter, the sun comes up right here. So you don't want to be here when the sun comes up. It's going to blind you. But getting it before it comes up, you tend to get rays like this and lights the valley up. And then when the sun comes up, you leave. It comes up right there in the winter. It's waiting for here in the springtime. But winter is right in front of you. Classic Smokies shot called Morton Overlook. Right after a storm, that happens a lot. Little rainstorm passes through, and then that's why it's called the Smokies. This mist just kicks up, and it's just automatic. It's beautiful. This is the road up the mountain. Right there. It's coming around. Then we wind up here. It's beautiful. Fall reflection. Not reflection, just incredible fall color in New Hampshire, which has the rich, rich red. Look at that, like deep red. And it's the kind of fuchsia. It's remarkable color that year. The greens are great. Amazing. Amazing. So we're shooting in the morning. So there's no direct sun. That means all the mist, all the light here is blue. It's all blue. Do a little radio here. Increase contrast here. Do a little radio here. Brought the color up there. So I affected those two areas digitally to bring the color back. And so, blue tends to cool things down. And I brought the color out just with some digital radials right in here. One of the great look, just tremendous. And we look for this. We just drive up. We look for it. If it's happening, fine. If not, we just keep going to the next spot. But it's great when it happens. I dropped in a digital grad to give some. That sky was like colorless. So I dropped in a grad and added some magenta and some amber to bring some color out of there. You don't need a lot, just not gray. Oop, here we go. And by the mountain, earth regular pullout. This light happens all the time. It's just beautiful. We'll be there doing a class in June. It's an annual. It's called the Nature Weekend. It's fantastic. And you just wait. The fog rolls over the mountain. It's really beautiful to be there. And fog and mist, it separates things. Very soft light here, hard light here. That's like say that's 10. That's about 5. That's about 1. So it pulls you back into the scene, like mountain ridges get softer as they go back. And this is a Liberty Park, very, very small park, 1 minute from where I live. This shows you it's very soft light, got a beautiful ground fog, and the it backlights the color. You see all the tones like purple, orange, green, dark green, lime green. Most important thing is keeping this under the ridge. You don't want things popping up everywhere. So to get up higher, to get that tree under that little ridge there. And one, you just park there and wait. I don't, I don't chase light anymore. Get too old for that. I'd rather wait for it, get here early and just wait and see what happens. Worthington Valley, the northern Baltimore County, this beautiful ground fog. South Dakota Badlands, but when I do, boy, it's a real winner. Look at that. It's incredible when that happens. And a little like science fiction look with fog, which is a rare event in Iceland. You have one Arctic tern flying around, a little colony up here, just beautiful, very moody. And now clouds, winter clouds, gorgeous, Icelandic morning, just incredible. Water sunrise on the ocean. As some of it's a shot in South Carolina. It could be Cape May. It could be Rehoboth Beach. It's the coast. When you're on the coast, the sun comes up. The first thing you see, there's no mountain to come above it. It comes up right at the horizon. And before that, before it comes up, which is here, it'll shoot light up and just light the clouds. If you have clouds, it'll just light it right up. Then you just wait. It gets better and better. Then the sun comes up, and then you got to do something else. But it's very beautiful to be there. Long winter. This would not work if they were all leafed out. I like the silhouette of open trees. That's about a 4 minute exposure during the sunrise. So the light's changing during the entire exposure. And that's a no-brainer. That's Iceland. We had a good, if you go there for a 10-day trip, your odds are 1 in 10 of seeing the aurora. And we had it like 6 days. So we were very lucky, extremely lucky. And one more. If you never saw this, you ought to go see it. Now, guys, right? Yeah, I mean, this next year, a lot of sunspots, a lot of auroras going on, and the edge of light. Little window between when the sun goes down. When the sun hits that window, it just spotlights everything like this. See, there's no light in front of it, no light behind it, just a sliver right here. It's very fun when that happens. You just wait. The light will explode in that little letterbox scene there. Same thing here in the Badlands. We know what happened. They sort of like go down to like spotlight that one little area for just a minute. Sun goes down quick when it sets. And waiting here, it's a waiting game. Not going to see it open that it will shoot some rays off to the side. And it did. I was lucky. So you cannot see this with your naked eye. It's before sunrise. Again, when the sky gets bright is when you start seeing this. I tell my folks, take a shot now. If I see anything, no. Wait about 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you can't see it, but all of a sudden you'll see it in the camera. You'll see this, and then you're off to the races. Very first cherry sunlight hitting God. Very first light. And trees, I love trees. Only a few here again on the coast. These are falling away. Trees in the water are leaving because they can't live in salt water. So they'll be around and then they'll just start falling over after a number of years. Storms, will knock them down. Infrared in Tennessee. Beautiful side light on this. I love this tree. Fog helps. It dulls the background and pushes the tree forward, giving you a three-dimensional type of scene. That's camera movement. Can't really tell, can you? You can tell with the grass, but you can't tell on the trees because all the bark patterns are repeating. So as they go up, there's no difference. So they look almost the same, but the grass and the trees or these back here have movement to them. But these really don't, because the bark's just repeating as you shoot the multiple exposure. I like the edges is the end of fall. Quiet day before winter comes. The very last patch of leaves, red maples, and a couple of pear trees back there. I like shooting black against these and real quick. Long exposures will be quick. I love sometimes you can't tell where the horizon is. And I love stuff like that. That's about 8 minutes of exposure. That's about the reflection spots in New Hampshire. It does look like that, by the way. It does look like that. Minimalism. We know it's a peer, the new thing. Let's put it way off to the side. Let this negative space occupy the frame a little bit. More peaceful, more restive, more meditative. Really clean, black and white. White's beautiful, black's sharp all the way through. Unless that bird can suspend itself for 8 minutes, which it can't, it's 8 minute exposure, and that's an AI seagull. Just drew a circle there and said, give me a seagull coming in for a landing on a piling. And did. And Godafoss. This is the one of the Niagara Falls in Iceland, Island. Just gorgeous. It's a beautiful place, very spiritual. And real quick, potpourri, fun stuff. Shot defines potholes. Use your potholes. If it's raining, they'll be full of water. Or if the tide came up, it'll fill that and it'll reflect. Beautiful sky, 8 minute exposure here. And colorful beach. I think we did this area with Cape May. You just move over with beach. You just move the camera during the exposure. Any kind of colorful sunrise or a colorful morning, which is what this is. You want to just move the camera. Get a 1 second exposure, just move it across the frame, and these shots are the easiest shots in the world. Infrared, the Smokies. This shot is impossible in color because there's 6 stops between here and here, but infrared sees it in one shot. It's also 4 minutes. That's why the water is so smooth. Nice rainbow in the Badlands. I've seen it with open area, and I started getting like my adrenaline started kicking in because lightning is happening. And I'm out in the open with the tripod, highest point in the desert. So I got to run, which I did. Ran back to the car. You don't need a sun star for the and you obstruct your light source partially.
All right. So we're gonna go with the first image in the round. It's called Royal Treatment.
Someone loves infrared. I love that. It's got a nice feel to it. I love the feel. I love the full infrared scene here. Car's okay. It doesn't really kill me, but it's okay. But the scene's really pretty. Got a good sky. It's a great subject. Jeez. I can't see what else to do. I mean, the car's not bad. The car's okay. Maybe more of an angle. Um, maybe that's the only thing. Yeah, I don't see anything there really as far as the automobile. There's just no people there, nobody getting in the car. But aside from that, the everything else is tremendous. Jeez, really excellent. Like I have 3 palm trees here, diagonal line. Everything leads where it should, which is very nice. How do I pitch people? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay, good, good. Yeah, nice full frame, edge to edge. Everything's in there. Perfect exposure for infrared. Perfect. That's might be fun to color that car red. So that's is everybody still there? Did I
Yeah,
share?
we're still here.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
we're still here.
The thing that you might want to consider, I do this a lot, like in an infrared image, you have one color subject in there. I think this would benefit greatly by turning that car like a red, some kind of like red would fit good in there, you know. Just one color object in a like in an otherwise infrared image. Do that with skies a lot. Add like a colorful sky to an infrared image, you know. But aside from that, it's wonderful.
Okay.
You got good composition. Next, please. I'm sorry.
All right. The next one is who you looking at.
Okay, classic shot from the coast. Yeah, it's good. I like the way the bird's looking back into the frame, which is excellent composition. Have you tried flipping these things horizontally? It's always a fun practice. Just flip horizontally because sometimes it changes the feeling quite a bit. But I like this. I will try to darken the water, play around with that. But aside from that, the out of focus here does not bother me. This is a long lens wide open, which is fine. But this is an easy selection. I'll select this, everything, just invert it, and then darken the water about a stop. That might push the subject out towards you a bit more. But the good isolation, eyeballs razor sharp, which is critical. And good seagull shot, be a nice print. It's very nice. I'm going to bring the blacks out a bit here. Bring your shadows up, shadow slider, just a little bit will affect that. Don't use blacks, use your shadow. Blacks tend to wash things out. Bring your shadows up, that'll open up this dark area here. But yeah, it's a good picture. Good picture. Just a couple little things to try and you're good to go.
All right. Click on Merit when you're done.
Oh, sorry. After every one or just this one
Yeah,
time?
after everyone.
Okay, gotcha.
The next image is Dolly in the sun.
Oh, that's nice. The only thing that boy, you know what? Okay, real quick. I like the white back. Yeah, I love high key stuff like this. I tone that down on the heel, big hot spot there. Everything else is just perfect, except there's a whole lot of it's too out of focus. This is too much of the frame being out of focus. That's too much. Now you can, I think Topaz could probably bring that in a bit more, like select it, and Topaz can sharpen that just to shape. This is a major part of the image, and it's out of focus. Pulls the eye away from your subject. But again, that can be sharpened up. You're getting very good at that. You have Topaz Sharpen or Luminar or something like that. Photoshop. Um, just select it and sharpen it up. Doesn't take much. It's close. It's a little more would finish that off, but the subject's tremendous, and in the white sky is beautiful. You may want to. This is an easy selection. Select. Just drag a wand across it. Just select all this. Then bring the shadows up a little bit. That'll affect this area here. A little too dark for my personal taste. That's about it. I'll select it all, then bring the shadows up in here. But this is outstanding. The main thing is the foreground or the stand or whatever it's sitting on is a little too out of focus.
Click Merit when you're done.
After every one, got it. Okay, okay,
The next one is A Walk in the Rain.
beautiful. Japan, Tokyo, it's gorgeous. I like the feel, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't change a whole lot. I mean, it definitely tells a story. Um, you may want to, if you're like this condition again, hold the camera way up so you see a little more where they're going out front, you know. But maybe run and get in front of them, say hello, stand still a second, you know, and talk to people. You know, they'll work with you. But this is fine. Everything's there. It tells a story. There's some movement down here, and I want to address these two hot spots up here. God darn it, these here are a problem. It's the only ones. These are fine. It's the way that these bleed. There's too much warm light around here. So I get rid of that. You can use AI these days to select that and just paints over it, no problem. Okay.
The next image is Purple Rain.
Oh yeah. Okay, I taught this great lesson by one of my teachers. Either include it in or include it out. You need a little more of this. This actually works as an anchor point, but I wouldn't mind seeing a little more substance out here, which you can't build up if you want to with software. But the really great sky. You may want to consider cropping this square or 4x5. Come in here. Just play around with that. Then don't include the boats. Not enough boats to matter. Just crop that here. And then this might make more sense if you pull this back a little bit. I'll just crop it. I love the color scheme. The cloud's incredible, you know. But again, when you crop it, you don't need this stuff. This is a fragment. We don't want fragments. You want to crop it here, all the way to here. And then we'll take care of that in software. And then right across here, right up in here. But beautiful light, a lot of good stuff to work with. You just don't need the boats. And again, if you crop off that left a jetty a bit, that'll make this seem a little larger, relatively speaking. And it might not look as small if you cut back on this here a little bit. Does that make sense? I'll take that as a yes or a no. Let's do this here. Really great light on that. It's a great sky. Jeez. Turquoise water, probably down south somewhere.
All right, Shadow Against the Flame.
Okay. Um, there's a trick to these kind of scenes. I love this scene. I love the fog. I love the square crop. You may want to get rid of this little edge issue right here. That's kind of meaningless, you know. But starting here, that's where the action is on this. It's fantastic. The other trick is to shoot wide open if you didn't, and focus here and shoot wide open. That way, the sun will soften up, like with people. It's bokeh almost. Uh, I'm not a fan of like small little hard edge fireballs like that. Um, the fog didn't spread it out enough. The sun's too hot, you know. So again, if you shoot wide open and focus in front, that lack of depth of field may soften, take the edge off the fireball. It'll still be round. It won't be as sharp, which is fine. It'll be a little bigger as the light spreads because it's a wide open shot. There's bokeh back there, but that's all. It's really a nice situation. Just a couple things. That and shoot wide open and let that spread a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go up here.
Room to Breathe.
Boy, it sure is, isn't it? Look at that. Wow. Breathing deep right now feels great. Yeah, what a beautiful scene. Shot in midday, which is fine. Um, you can use selection tools to select. Oh, you can go into Photoshop and use the masking panel, and pick I forget which one, but you just drag it across the mountain, and it'll select only the mountain. Then darken it at half a stop. It'll lighten darken the snow a bit, make the gray a little bit darker, just half a stop. Everything else is perfect. But I would darken the mountains. There's too many. These are hot spots, actually, in this kind of light. These are all hot spots. But if you tone that down, I forget the word in Photoshop, but you just get a big brush, and you just brush, and it does find the edges. So if you're close, it'll pull the edges and just select only the mountain. And then if you want to, okay, after you're done with the mountain, you can invert that selection and work on the sky and the tree and leave that alone. So the trick is to select what you want to work on, get that done, and then duplicate and invert your selection and work on everything else. That's one way to do easy selections. The landscape selection is great because I picture a hill, your grass, your sky. If you haven't used that, the new masking panel in Photoshop is a minor miracle, for landscape work. It's incredible.
Got him.
Good job waiting for action. Boy, that's it. That is it. That is it. That's right there. And no, there's no horizontal shot of this. I know that because you just got the thing and it's done. But yeah, it's a good vertical shot. The eyeball is like dead center, man. It is like bullseye right in the crosshairs almost. Um, I don't think you need all of this. You may want to pull that back a notch because you do need all this. This is your image. But if you crop a little bit of this off, it'll take the eyeball out of dead center and put more visual weight on the bottom. You know what I mean? So about here, and then tone down that green somewhere in there and play around with that. What a good catch. Good timing. Good job stalking the old bird there. And waiting, yeah. Yeah. I like it a lot. Just try cropping a bit and see how you like it. But everything else is tremendous. Okay, don't go yet. I would probably get rid of that. That doesn't fit. It's all about gray and water. That just doesn't quite fit. That's all. Just crop it down a bit. Try that. See if you like it, and then pull this out. Did I
Can you
hit?
click merit again, Tony, please?
Sure. I'm sorry. There you
I brought it back.
go. Did you get that? I hit it.
Yep, I did. Day's End.
Okay. This is a huge winner. They shot a Ding Darling. It looks like it is. Yeah, that's tremendous, Joe. That's one of my favorite shots of yours. That's fantastic. I've seen it before. It knocked me out then, knocks me out again. I mean, that was meant to be. Perfect clouds, everything frames. He was been going nuts shooting this, man. That is a perfect situation. Just perfect. My goodness. I think it's getting a little black back here for me. My taste kind of doesn't fit with the overall feel here. You might want to consider pulling the shadows, like just select here, like a radial. Pull the shadows up a notch, see if that softens the blacks a little bit. But it's not a deal breaker at all, and it's just a great image, just flawless. Hmm, get that.
Between tides.
Nice feel to it. I like the high key. Nothing's really blown out. Maybe here, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. That's fine. There's still detail in there. Um, I like the. I kind of like it. I do. I mean, I like it. I like the silhouette against the real bright, high key shot. Um, I would have tried. Not that I'm in the Oracle, yeah, but I would try just to move to the right and point in a little bit, see if we can see what she's doing. A little more of a profile thing. Walk out further and look back. But this is good. This is very good. I wouldn't change anything except try a different angle. Put her or fit maybe over this way a little bit. Push her out more toward the edge, which pushes here because now I look at this and my eye goes out here and it goes here. If she's pushed over, I say I wouldn't crop, but you have to crop. Put her more toward the edge. There's no room to look over here. So by
Mm,
default, you would see that and you would go this way automatically. Because right now the viewers get too much freedom to move around and you want to constrict the viewer so they go where you want them to go, you know. So I'd minimize my space here because she's looking this way. So the viewer should look this way. So just crop that down a bit. Back here maybe. But keep your same pano, just do a crop, pull some out down here, and then up this way a bit, back there. Get her off to the side so the eyeball goes to her and then goes to the right. But it's a nice, really beautiful scene, good silhouette. I love the high key against that. That really works for me. The low key against the high key. That's really nice. Oh, I'm sorry.
After the rain, midnight in the square.
Pretty much. I love the small aperture. That's how you get this stuff. If it was a star filter, you would see stars everywhere, everywhere. But they're more predominant up here, so it's very nice. I like the people moving, the blur movement here. One couple sitting down. Yeah, yeah, good clean sky. I love the angle, the angularity of it, where it comes from the left. It just pulls you right through the frame. I love the warm and cool light in here. The opposite, warm and cool. I like doing that if I can. Yeah, this works fine. I like it. Um, yeah, the lights yeah, yeah, absolutely. Good, great subject, good light, good composition. Love the reflection. It all works, especially this. This fills in the space, which you needed down here. This wouldn't work as well if this wasn't there, for sure. The reflection. That kind of makes the image work. That's really excellent. Okay.
That was the last one in the first round. Your pace is good, Tony.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yep. Um, the start of round two is unfolding.
Okay, a little thing about leading the viewer. First of all, I mean, I love the color scheme. I love the background. Everything about it. Compositionally, I like the background's beautiful, which you want is good soft background with flowers if you can, but it's not sharp enough. Okay, some flowers look good shot wide open. Some you got to stop down a bit more because they're too unwieldy. They're all over the place. Because the first thing I saw, I went right here, and I shouldn't. I shouldn't be pulled anywhere on a shot like this. So the only condition is if the background is far enough away, say like 15, 20 feet away, or probably further here, you can stop down a lot. And this will be sharp. Background will still be the same. If it's closer, then you want to focus stack. If you want to keep the same, this is what I do with flowers in general. I'll tend to get the background I want, and then I'll stop down. If there's too much background, then I'll pull back to like F8 or something, and then just take a bunch of shots. I'll take one here, make sure that's sharp, make sure that's sharp, make sure this is sharp, make sure this is okay. But the main points of issue is here. That's a big issue. That's the first thing I saw, and then that's not out of focus enough. Two kinds of out of focus: good and not quite enough. This should be out of focus more. So you want that sharper. Then you can't focus now because it's pretty much where it is. So I'll take a shot and focus on that, sharpen that up just here. Not this is good. This is good. That's good. Focus on that and focus in here like 3 shots. Pretty much one at about F11. Same here. Same here. Then when you stack them, those 3 areas are prominent, and the areas that are soft are still soft. If the background's far enough away, it'll be unaffected. But these unwieldy subjects are tricky to shoot wide open. But you're on the right track. Good composition, good background. Just try doing a little focus stack. I think that'll solve your sharpness issues here.
Reaching for the sun.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Yes, I love the detail in that, man. That's spectacular. I think it works better than I wouldn't mind seeing more of the legs under the buttocks there, but in general, um, this is a cleaner shot because there's no the base is not out of focus basically. But I think it's fine. I wouldn't mind seeing more of the bottom part of the statue, but this is fine the way it is. It's like it's stark. It's very sharp, got a nice pure white background, which I used to hate. Now I love. White backgrounds are they have their place, and it works here really well. Really nice. Okay. Excuse me.
Just chillin'.
Yeah, looks that way to me. Okay, first thing is these rocks get real hot. So go into your software and pull the highlights back. And this should tone down dramatically, especially up here. But that could be darker. This is an easily selectable subject. So again, I will tend to select everything, including the creature from the Black Lagoon. It looks like, and then darken the water a bit, and then this will be darker. Do that first, then darken the water half a stop, and then select the subject. And in Photoshop, there's a select subject command. It'll know that's a subject. And then deal with bringing the shadows up a little bit and add some more. Just process that as a single thing. There's like 3 elements here, and they're all very separated. Highlights, pull this back. Select everything here and invert it. Then darken the water a bit. That's 2. And then select the creature only. And that's select subject. It'll nail it. Then you address the color and the darkness here, the contrast. You deal with that with the subject select command. But it'll be fun to process. You're almost there. A couple little fine tuning things. And again, this is my opinion. I'm not the oracle here. It's just my opinion. You know, and we'll do that.
Landing zone.
Yeah, that's pretty much flawless. Love the white background. Um, yeah, I do. I do. Wouldn't mind seeing a blue background, but hey, yeah, it's okay. You can't drop one in. The subject's easy to select. And rather than adding blue, just to give it a cool white balance, give it just a real shade of very light blue on the background. But that's as sharp as it has to be. Um, Little fall off here, who cares? Everything is in, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'll just try to just experiment, like select subject and then invert it, and then add a little like, like blue white balance, cool white balance. And I mean, just a touch. And that might complement the color a bit more. But that's very well done. Very well done.
Stored patience.
Really great pattern shot, boy. That's okay. Real quick thing here. Real quick. I got this thing about balance. I got this phobia about balance. I think of these things like visual equations. What does that mean? That means that okay, first of all, this is a picture of symmetry to me. This is symmetry. Everything's lined up. It's a vortex. Everything's like there. It's symmetry. So to me, that means as symmetry as much as possible. So if you measure, just look at it. There's more of this. In other words, this does not equal this. And if you look up top, this does not equal that. So what to take? Half a step to the right, half a step to the right. And you're right in the middle. Everything is even on the edges because the way it works, if you're doing a shot of the overarching concept being symmetry, if it's not, what's not symmetry, I can't say this, what is not balanced will pull your eye to it. Okay, so that's why if you do fence lines, they should start right at the edge and then move in equally, or else your eye's going to get pulled to them. Same thing as this. My eye's pulled here because it doesn't equal that. There's an inconsistency. So this interrupts my visual traveling back to here, which it shouldn't. So I'm caught right away in here. But if I had like that much more space, like half a step, would balance it perfectly. And I bet if you go to your look at it like on the monitor, you'll find this icon slightly off center. See, it's a bit more here than it is here. If you move over just a notch, that'll be like perfect. Or you could crop. Now that it's done, just crop it. Crop it so this equals that, and you're good to go. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a really nice scene, though.
Venetian taxi driver.
That's how to use software, boy. That's a beautiful software treatment of that scene. I don't know if it's a texture or some kind of paint program, but that works extremely well on this type of image. It's really tremendous. Um, why don't you consider cropping? No, we need this. We need this. Consider. Let's try it. Let nobody gets hurt. Come into about here. Just try it. Right about there. Just that little edge right there. And I think it's a little bit too much space. And I'm nitpicking, I am. I think it's fine the way it is. But I would try to crop it in, like get this kind of look with the windows over here. Just get a small portion of them, like from here. They give you a tighter composition. Um, but again, because there's a lot of action over here that's not matched by the other third of the frame. That dies off here with all the action. But try to crop again right to about here, like it is here. and see if you like it. If you don't, leave it alone. It's just an option for you. But the feel is fantastic. I mean, that fits really excellently. A lot of textures don't work. This worked extremely well. Good choice, actually.
Disturbing the peace.
What's disturbing it? It's a nice scene. Trees are can be a little bit confusing. You did a good job here with balance. The large trees are kind of open, which I like. They stand out a bit. Um, I wouldn't change much. I just don't see a point of interest. You know, it's a nice. If you think of it like the scene being the subject, it works fine. Although I would clean a few things up. I may want to crop up to about here. Get all these sticks, clone them out of there. Very easy. Just clean it up. Basic cleanup stuff. In here, we don't, that's 50-50. This has to go. These are hard to clean up, but it's not impossible. Then get that looking nice and clean and then just crop from the bottom up to about here. See if you like it. If you don't, keep it where it is. Excuse me. Nice texture in the sky. Pardon me. Yeah, nice texture up in here. That's a good job. Sorry.
And the game announcer roars, number 7 and 3E. Great job giving me a difficult title.
Well, oh, they're all pointing. What's everybody looking at? They're looking at two directions. What's going on? They're looking this way and that way. And I wonder why. So it tells a story. Someone that's being photographed right there. It's a good action shot. Good job keeping her in here. Nice clean subject area. That's very nice. Stands right out. Excuse me. Voice softened up there for a second. But yeah, it's a good moment. That is a good moment. And it's not confusing. Visual, everything's separated very nicely. All the action figures here are nicely composed. Even this one here. But yeah, I think it's good. I wouldn't change anything. It's one of the action shots. Action shots just happen. You take the shot, and yeah, somebody's happy here. She's Maryland. Excellent. Somebody's sad. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. That's a fun picture. All kind of stories going on there.
Peeping Tom.
Oh, color infrared. Looks like it. Yeah, red's great in infrared. I mean, yeah, the red aerochromatic, I think it's called, with white. That's very nice. It kind of fails here, doesn't it? Doesn't quite catch everything. So these are aberrations. I'm thinking, I like people. I don't think she's important. I think your shot, it's roughly half. Because I love all the white and red interspersed here. You don't have this palm tree over here. So the red's more uniform throughout. Just try crop it in as far as you want. I'd go to about maybe here. or more or less in that area, because this doesn't work. But a lot of it does. So I'll play with cropping it from the right when I even need all this. Maybe crop in here and go up that way, something like that. You have a lot of options. I think your picture's over here, to be honest. But the good use of the filter and really good use of the filter. Boy, that looks great. Except for here. This is doesn't work at all. She's neutral, but the shot's up in here. So, okay. Really good use of that filter. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Flight of the Great Blue.
Nice shot. Wide open. You need a little cloning, not much. I like the background. The rocks look, you have a really bokeh kind of look here. It's really nice. That's got to go. I don't think you need any of these trees. The bright trees ought to go. Clone that out. I think these are optional, but that's got to go. This has to go. You tone that down. The birds are tremendous. What a good job. Autofocus is nice, isn't it? Boy, I tell you. Really good catch. Really nice. I'll just watch your hot spots. And again, you're at the mercy of your scene, so you just take care of the hot spots later because the wildlife dictates everything. And then you come in and clean a few things up. But over here, little patches like this, small stuff. But yeah, that's a good job. Excuse me.
Girlfriends.
What are they looking at? I like the setting a lot. I like the so I don't want to say geisha, but are they geisha girls? I mean, I don't know. I've never been to Japan, so I don't know. But they wear like a certain a garb like that. If they wouldn't mind, I would probably try to slip around to the right a bit and get more of. Have them both look at you. Yeah, just look your way, something. Because I want to see more of what she's looking at. That's in the back of her head. This one's fine, but this she loses me here. If you could just turn to the right slightly, with a profile like this, or turn in toward her or something rather than the back of her head. But good exposure, nice subject. Hope you shot more than one. Excuse me. And you don't need this. I clone that out. You bring it in a bit. Bring it in maybe just a hair. Cut that in half maybe. And then clone the rest of that out. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Just want to see more of the people. If I were doing that, and I'm not a people shooter at all, I'll just walk around till they maybe saw me. And I say, can you look that way real quick? Here, look over here. And just do a quick shot and it'll beat me up, Anyway, yeah, crazy world out there. Let's go up here. It's very nice. I like the color scheme a lot.
That was the end of the second round. So again, your pace is great, Tony.
Oh, thank you. Am I,
Uh,
take, am I taking long enough?
yeah, I
Okay.
mean, we have a little time for questions at the end, so that's always great.
Okay. Good. Good.
Um, Warped Windows of Venice.
Oh yeah, man. I've seen those shots from there. These are fantastic. Great reflections. Goodness gracious. Okay, so you're not stopped down. That's out of focus. What you want to do on these, it's not a deal breaker, but if you want these razor sharp, you can get them razor sharp. You raise your ISO. to 640, 1200, something like that. Get a faster shutter speed. Then you can stop down f11, something like that, and get everything sharp. Raise the ISO. This is fine the way it is, but I wouldn't mind seeing this kind of sharpness throughout. It kind of softens up here. I know the water's moving, but a faster ISO would freeze that water. It'd be razor sharp. It's fine the way it is. Next time you go back, next time you see water like this, remember to jack the ISO up and shoot a little smaller aperture, faster shutter speed, to freeze that stuff. A really nice idea. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Just hanging, just hanging with my mama.
Oh, look at that. Right in there. I want to see a little more of the baby, but again, you're at the mercy of wildlife. It's not a cormorant. What is it? That's a loon. Is that a loon? Well, you can tell me later. Um, yeah, beautiful color scheme in the water. Did you get her in the green all by herself? Just a rhetorical question. I would spend a lot of time on this subject. You get her in different reflection areas. Because right now the frame's cut in half, which is not bad. I'm just an observation. But I'd wait to see her in like one tonality. Get her over here, get her all in the green, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's beautiful. Cutting the frame, she's coming up. That's fine. Where she is great. Traveling this way. And again, as a horizontal shot, I would flip that horizontally and just see what it looks like. A lot of times it'll change the way it feels a lot. So I turn it back. No big deal. Just something to try. And razor sharp, boy, that's as good as it gets right in there. It's beautiful. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna trip on my Icelandic. Dirty Falls Jakul.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is fine. No problem. Why don't you can now there's several ways to approach this kind of subject. This is one, it's fine. I don't think it's top down. This kind of shot you need sharp from front to back, in my opinion. It's not sharp down here. It gets sharp here. That's where it's sharp. So you're obviously in autofocus and focusing here at about f8. That means things in front are out and things in the back are out. If you want to, that's not moving. I mean, it's still moving at a glacial pace, very, very slow. But if you move this back and stop down to, let's say, f16, it's a thing called hyperfocal focusing. I don't know if you know what that is or not. But that states that if you, okay, in this case, at the point of focus, 1/3 in front is sharp, 2/3 behind is sharp, like a rule of thirds kind of a thing. So if you're here, 1/3 in front puts you about here. Everything in this area is not quite sharp. So if you're here and if you focus here, then at f16 or f22, then 1/3 in front of that is razor sharp, and then 2/3 behind is razor sharp. It's as sharp as one image can be on a single exposure. As sharp as it gets. 1/3 from the bottom of the frame, and then 1/3 in front sharp, 2/3 behind is razor sharp. The only other way is the focus stack, which is fine. But if I can do this, I do it. It's as sharp as one image can be when you do that. But I love the scene. See how sharp this is? Boy, that's really great up in here. Anyway, when you go back, do it that way. Okay, next, please.
David Lawrence Convention Center balcony, Pittsburgh, PA.
Wow, there you go. Good use of line, man. That is a good use of line. Um, you got a big white hole out here. I wonder if you could have moved. Now, if it were me, I'm just saying, I would probably try to get as much of this as I could, which means move the camera this way toward the left. Now, I'm not sure what's here. It might have been impossible. Take a step forward and move the camera more to the left so you can get more of this. And oh, I see. That's a mirror. Okay. Yeah. Um, or try to bring the sky in. The only way to try to bring it in is to go in the software and pull the highlights back, all the way back. Not the whites, the highlights. May get some detail back. You might. That's what I would do. But if that had clouds like this over here, you'd be cooking. That big hot spot pulls your eye away from everything. That's what they do. That's their job. Highlight's job is to pull your eye to where they are. But there's nothing here to look at. It's a big white hole. So see if you can pull that back in software. If you can bring in any detail at all, that would work. But the really interesting scene, geez, they have good color, the yellow construction stuff, or the bridge. It's beautiful. You just need this kind of stuff up in here for it to really work. If it doesn't, there's my crop tool. You could probably crop, okay, this much white is just too much. If you can't tone it back, it's too much. But if you crop, and you're going to lose a little bit by the night lights in the stadium, that could maybe, this can work. This cannot work. It's too much. I'll just try to bring them in with highlights. If not, just crop it down. You're going to cut a few things that's like you'll cut things that you want, but it'll work better visually. Come to about here. That's just my opinion. Really nice scene. Beautiful structure.
Stone and Silence.
Okay. Good scene, beautiful scene. It's great. Now the issue is when you go from dark to light, okay, contrast, structure, all these controls in Photoshop, they're all contrast commands. And the more you pile them up, the more they're likely to do this. See the edge there? We don't want that edge. We don't want that edge. It's kind of too crunchy out here also. You have a lot of, it's probably like clarity and contrast and whites. All these things are contrast commands. And there's more. So pick one. We're gonna start seeing these halos a lot, and halos are bad news. Don't want them. I will sacrifice something to get rid of this. I mean, you can use if you have time, you can use the brush, magnified, of course, and it's clone here, and then brush in here, and do that through the entire. Like I have done stuff like this. I do an entire line of stuff, but not if I don't have to. It's a lot of work. It's not always perfect either. Easier to avoid using a lot of contrast tools. Well, I like the scene, but you see, it's just too crunchy out here. It's just too crunchy. Too much crunch. It works in here, doesn't work out here. So tone it down, pull the contrast back. I think the trend with some friends of mine, and I've been doing it for years also. I'm using less contrast rather than more. I'm pulling the contrast back. I'm lowering contrast more than I'm pushing it up. but really nice scene. This is worth working on. Excuse me.
Into the fog.
Oh yeah, that tree's gone now, folks. Whoever shot this, do you know that? That tree is in Kate's Cove, and she is gone. She went down during the storm. Did you flip this? I think you might have flipped this image. It's nice. But yeah, beautiful. One of the great trees. I like how you kept space in here. Did something in processing that created that halo. See it right there? It has like not a halo, but some kind of like weird glow around it. You don't want that. I forget what you do to get that, but you see it here. It has like a little dark little glow around it. And I forget to move, but that kind of stopped doing it for that reason. It's not everywhere though. That's easily fixable. Really nice shot. I would cut off. I would see. This is kind of close to the edge, but it's okay. I'd leave a little more space, but it's not a deal breaker. That's fine. Good job with the posts. We want the equation. This equals that basically. You have the space. That way, okay, the way it works is that if there's too much space, say this post wasn't there, be a lot of space here. Your eye would like go to that big hole. It's a hole. But you have it's sort of balanced. Here and here is good. The eye goes right down the road. That's what you want. You don't want these should not be a distraction. These should be leading lines. And that's what these are. So it's very nice. Excuse me, very nice shot. Um, Good composition. Yeah, yeah, but she's gone now. So keep this picture. Okay.
Bad hair day.
That's excellent. No halos, good clear sky, good light on the subject, razor sharp, what you want. You may want to go in, use your shadow command, shadow slider, and bring up some detail in here. There's feathers in there. Just bring them up. Not all the way, a little bit of shadows, play with it, but that'll open it up immediately. There's a shadow command for that. But that's a real clean, real simple. I would try to get rid of that, see what it looks like. Sometimes if you clone out too much, the branch doesn't look right. Loses the natural feel. But yeah, I might want to pull this one out, leave everything else. And then try it, you know. But that's a really nice shot. Oops, come on. There we go.
Rooted.
A good light on that. Not sure if it's artificial or real. Gotta watch out for this stuff. You can burn that down probably. Highlights. Watch your highlights in nature. They're everywhere. This is probably sunlight. This these kind of scenes that are harsh, would benefit from using a diffusion disc. Hold on a second. Can you guys see this at all? Big diffusion disc. Hold that between the sun and your subject. And like people, all the light evens out. This this is a portrait to me. It's a portrait. It should be treated the same way. You diffuse the light. You might want to throw some light back in under here with a reflector. So this is your subject. you know, I don't think you even need a lot of this stuff. Practice cropping this side back a little bit. You might want to come in from the top a little bit here, a little bit, not that much. Back here, and then probably around here. Come on down, and then tone that down. But this is your portrait. It's a portrait, like a people portrait. You use light the same way. You dial your flash back. You use reflectors, diffusers. It's kind of dark back in here. A reflector disc would push some light. Sun's over here. Pick up the light here and push it back in under here with the reflector disc. Small one. You don't need a big one. And like that, it's a lot because the green's beautiful. The rock's great. I love this little part of a root here. This is your shot, man, right in here. This is good also. This is good. So your shot's in here. There's no shot out here. So that's worth working on. That's got a lot of potential. Yep. Just adjust your highlights, which means down here, unless you crop it out. But this is a portrait, like any other portrait.
Ghosts of Alcatraz.
Wow, that's it, isn't it? That's the Alcatraz. That's got a nice feeling to it. I would definitely use a digital grad and pull that, like, darken your sky with the grad. Big feather, great big feather. You can feather outside your picture space. You know that. Make your picture smaller. Make the feather go way outside of the frame and get a real big feather, a very long feather. When you darken it, it looks more natural than that hard edge. You know what I mean? But this does need some kind of grad up here to darken that down. Everything else is fine. I don't think you need all this out here. I would practice cropping it a little bit. I mean, I like all the negative space, but it needs more. So try cropping it down a bit, maybe, and then drop in a digital grad. And I mean like grad, very graduated, long feather, move it back and forth, and play with your exposure. But that'll help a lot. That's really a nice feel to that scene there.
Rainy day.
Pretty much. Okay. Now you had time if you were, um, what's your subject? The subject is here. And to me, it's also here. Boy, there it is. I mean, I would find a way to use these lamps with somebody in there. I don't think you need all this. I mean, this is your subject, man. Right up in here. This is your subject. Right around here. Maybe cross the street. You can, but yeah, you have a lot there. This is a distraction. Now, you can ostensibly get rid of the people here. Get rid of the people. Easy to get out these days, and then crop it. You have your one walker in between the lights. You don't need a like crop right in here somewhere. It's up to you, really. I mean that's kind of your shot. Excuse me. But maybe you don't need everything. Um, these people, sorry, can go away. I think that's it. You have the good subject. She's in half step, which is good. There's movement, implied movement, but it's all there. It's got to crop it down a bit, do a little cleanup, and you're good to go. There's detail in the sky, so pulling your highlights back a lot will bring that cloud detail out, and you can use that. You can use that in here, something like that.
All right, Tony, you brought us in pretty much on time, so we have time for some questions. I
Jesus.
I don't know if there's any questions you have for the makers or anything the makers want to ask you. If so, just come on and ask.
Well, I think a lot of these are really good. They just need some work. I mean, like mine need work, and though it's perfect, but they got a lot of good raw material, which is what I call it, especially on a shot like this. This could look really good. If you guys have like Nick Viveza, the little software, you can like drop a little like pin spot and all these lights. That's what we do. So they're lit up. So they're like this. You would make these look like these. Do that with software. But any questions for me?
Hi, Tony. This is Jan. Can you hear me?
I can, Jan.
Thank you. So I was curious about your adoption, which is in vogue, of inserting AI content into your otherwise nature images, and how you came to the conclusion that that was important, necessary, or useful either in sales or contests or etc.
Well, the seagull flying onto the post is probably you count them on one hand, the amount of AI that I've done to my work. It's just stuff like that. I'll drop into things like that. If I've got a rough part of the scene, I'll just brush over it and let AI do something to it. But in general, no. I use it extremely infrequently. My opinion of it, yeah, got no opinion. It's what's going on now. It's a tool we can use um, if we want to. Because sometimes okay, there's a beach scene on the west coast, abandoned beach, a lot of rocks, a lot of gulls flying around. But the sun was going down at this particular time when I needed a seagull on top of that rock. Now there wasn't one there, but there should have been, you know. So in that case, I'll pop one on there. but in general, very infrequently, very infrequently. Yeah, I can live without it actually. It's fun to it's a tool we have. So play around with it. Maybe you might be able to use it. It doesn't hurt.
See, now you become a digital artist.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
I have a follow-up question, if I may.
Yes, sir.
So, in the picture of the Dolly sculpture on top of the piano, which is the work in black and white with the image all stretched out, um,
Yes.
the piano was out of focus. That was my choice. It's actually in focus. Oh, thank you,
Thank
Jane.
you.
Um, uh, and part of it was I was trying to emphasize the image of that part of the sculpture, which a great deal of effort was made to emphasize the contrast on the surface of the bronze. And of course, this is an image with the sun directly behind the chest of the sculpture. So it's a silhouette, technically.
It works fine. It works fine. Yeah.
But I had thought about removing the piano and just expanding an artificial sky, like you could do with AI, around the remainder of the subject. And I'm curious if you thought that would have aided or detracted, especially the triangular part in the lower right. I would have left the base in the figure. Whether that's, I don't know what the word is. Appropriate isn't always the right word because it's all judgmental stuff. I get the idea about the highlight on the heel. This image doesn't show that. There actually is data in there, and I can pull that down.
Sure.
But I'm very concerned about whether or not that big triangle on the right should stay there. Of course, I could make it sharper. I get that. Just mask it and try, use one of the sharpening tools. But I
I
didn't
would.
know which
So
would detract from my image.
I think the composition is excellent. I like everything that's in there. It's balanced. Everything seems to fit. It's really an excellent composition. I would just sharpen the piano and the top.
Yeah.
I
This is
think,
a monumental figure. It's about 5 meters high. So it's really hard to get it all in focus when you're standing right next to it.
yes.
So, he only made about three of these at this size. You can literally buy the tabletop version in art stores. The actual, Dolly had the cast bronzes made in many of them, but this is one of the biggest ones.
I think it's gorgeous, man. I mean, what I will do is just try to make those two elements dark, not darker, well, maybe a little bit darker, but then make them add some sharpness to it.
Okay,
I think
understood. Yeah.
I think it works perfectly well. The composition is fine just the way it is.
All right, thanks.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Tony, will you click on Merit again?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. There we go.
Hugh, are you still with me? Okay, good.
Did it go?
Yep. All right. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So in your presentation, I think it was in New Hampshire when you had the trees that were more brown trunks. There was definitely a blur. I don't know if you can go like it, you can see them. I was trying to think what was before it or not. I don't know if it was a swipe or not, but if it was a swipe, it's so subtle.
Yes,
Um,
yes, that was a swipe. Yes, it was
okay.
very minimal movement, and like I said, the trees. The good thing about trees is that when you do a swipe or multiple exposure with multiples, especially, there's a there's a bark pattern, and it just repeats.
So can you explain? I'm struggling with swipes with trees. So you're saying multiple exposure? Are you layering that? Or
They're two separate things now.
okay,
Swipes with trees are very easy. Get about 1 second and just start moving for. Think of it like bowling or like
sure.
playing tennis, right? It's the same activity. You don't swipe when you shoot. You move, swipe while you're moving, like following through. When you throw a baseball, throw a bowling ball, you still follow through. It's the same thing. So you start moving first, you have the action while you're still moving, and you move through all that. And they're pretty smooth. They're pretty smooth if you do that.
But that, do you know which one I'm talking about? You had your trees. I wish I could give you which one it was. Because I thought you were saying that there was bark and multiple exposure. So I was trying to figure out if you layered your swipes.
No.
Okay.
I
It's
mean,
all one.
people do that. My friend Stephanie Johnson does that. She's ridiculous, but
Eek.
yeah, they're trying to do what she does, but she's way ahead of me on
I
that
was
stuff.
looking for swipes to put in here and I couldn't find them last night in order to submit on time.
Yeah,
But that's so minute the way you did that. I just love it. And I'm trying to work on that.
oh, thank you. It's probably just very small moves. Yeah, I don't tend to move a whole lot. I tend to move pretty slow, and so things don't get like out of hand. Like I try to control my movement a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't you,
Thanks.
you don't need a lot of movement for things to work. That's for sure.
Okay. And one last thing though, for your trees, you're swiping up because you keep moving across. I see you in your video. If the trees
Uh,
are growing up, do you swipe up
I
or
tend to
center?
move up. I tend to move upwards from below. There's a certain look that I like. Um, you know how when people swipe up on occasion, there's like little spikes at the bottom. There's spikes at the bottom. There's no tree trunk. It just it like emerges out of the ground. Does that make sense at all? So
Yes.
you
Thank you.
get those tree spikes by starting below the tree, and then you start moving as you swipe below
Okay.
the tree. Then you move up that way, kind of quickly.
Thank you.
Oh, sure, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining and keep shooting.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Tony.
Good night.
Good night, folks. Thank you so much.